Hazel. How are you? How you guys doing? Welcome to Friday. Happy Friday. Congratulations on making it to yet another weekend. It's Timewalking Week. It is Cataclysm Timewalking Week, and I will log into my Void Elf Priest while I tell you the plan. So, I don't know exactly which add-on is doing this. I have a strong suspicion that it's Altaholic, but I noticed recently when I opened up my currency tab to check out and see how many Time Warp badges I had, it showed me a little list, and I'll show you once I log in. Apparently I'm still in front of the Four Winds. It showed me a little list of how many charms I had, or badges rather, on each of my characters. So it did one of these. So I was like, how many Time Warp badges? And it had that little list. So I figured this month, I'm not actually going to be able, this is going to be very boring because I can't like get a thing and then show you. I'm not going to be able to afford anything yet, but if I do one time walking dungeon on each character that already has badges, then I'm going to be in a very good position to start picking up the toys from all of the different sources. So I already did, with my guild earlier this week, my main priest, my druid, and my monk. So the top three, not counting this one. So I figure on this stream, and I'm just going to do one dungeon per. The thing that you get for doing 5 dungeons is just a piece of normal gear. I don't need that, and I would only be able to get it on my main priest anyway, so we don't need that, but I figure I'll do one of this priest, my bank alt mage, and my hunter. None of these characters are 120, so if I bring you guys with me, then you're going to need to go into it knowing that you will probably need to carry me. In the meantime, I'm going to hearth to Dalaran, I suppose, and see how you guys doing. What's up, guys? Hi, Hazel. Hey, Lips. Kristen, say hi to KC for me. Yo, 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 Hazel. I can't even read it. That's how not cool I am. Heralded Great's fading to a gorgeous color. Why, thank you. I think it's, like, it has faded a little bit, but honestly, I changed my camera settings, to make them much more neutral. So it's a little bit more, it's actually it's washing it out more than it is in real life. It looks a little punchier in real life than it does in camera now. But at least blue things look mostly blue on camera. I'm wondering, actually, I don't have it with me. I'm wondering if I show you guys the green teapot now that you guys have been insisting is yellow, I wonder if it'll look green now. But anyways, it was my birthday this Tuesday. Happy birthday, Kristen! You changed the color of my camera, looks more yellow. Yeah, so I reset everything. I realized that I was running, like, I had a picture profile, and then I had a different kind of profile, and then I was running it through a filter in OBS, and then I was color correcting it in Premiere. And obviously, like, some things just couldn't be fixed at that point. So I went and I neutraled out everything. This camera does not have a log mode, so I can't shoot in log, but I can shoot in neutral. And then for editing, for videos, I was able to just edit from there. For streams, obviously, I can't edit in real time. There is a color correcting filter option in OBS, and I am using a little bit of that. And I used that to try and cool it down a bit, because as you notice, the neutral profile is just a little bit too warm and brassy. I experimented with the white balance. There wasn't one that really nailed it, and I didn't have time to set up a custom one. So what I did, let me show you the filter that I have on right now. I could make it a little stronger, but I'm not too worried about it, you know. Nobody cares how blue I am. But filters, so this is without, hang on, no, that's the crop. This is without the color correct. And then this is with the color. It's like the most subtle difference ever. I didn't want to be too heavy-handed with it. Anyways, that's not interesting. I'm doing time walking. Oh, and I was going to show you guys my mug. So I got my Squirrel Squad mug all sorted out. I did get one. And I'm not using a straw with this today because I put one in it, and it's a pretty small mug. It's not a huge mug. You should know that going into it. It's not a huge mug. It's got some chai tea in there. But yeah, I put a straw in it, and the straw was, like, so far out of the mug because it's such a short mug that I wasn't convinced I wouldn't just knock it over. So I am going to, on this character, I could heal, I could damage, it doesn't matter. It's time walking. It's probably going to be more difficult than we're anticipating. We might have to struggle bust our way through a couple of these, but that's okay. I'm just going to make a custom group. It is going to be in the custom settings. Title will be Hi, I'm Hazel. And I'm looking for 4 other people to run a time walking with me. One of them must be a tank, the other 3 can be whatever. Fish are cute. There we go. Speaking of fish, also first come, first serve on the applicants. I got my fish cam. I zoomed it in pretty far, so just in case anybody thinks, wow, you have your Corys in such a small tank. I don't. That is like a super cropped zoom view so that we can almost sort of kind of see the fish. You can see them kind of wiggling over the wood there. There's some panda corridors in there. Every now and then my honey gourami chromie might mosey on by. That is the bigger tank in my living room. You Arathi's up for Alliance, got 4 pets, 3 toys, good day. We have it up again as well, and I have not done, like, we get to do the second round of our quests and killing the rares for this stuff. If, like, I only need to do 3 time walking. So I'm assuming that we'll have some time left over. It depends, you know, sometimes these take longer than you think. Okay, so there we go. If I take a 3rd DPS, that means that I heal, which is fine, and then we're just looking for a tank. Hey, Queen. Nice Alliance t-shirt. Why, thank you. This is one of my favorites. This was the Warcraft movie one. Oh, I don't have a spot for a healer anymore. I took too many DPS. Yeah, this is the Warcraft movie Alliance one. I always kind of liked the way the Warcraft movie did the Alliance lion. I felt like they modernized the... I want to say logo. That's not the right word, but they modernized the Alliance logo in a way that I really liked. I'm on Horde. That is a good point. This is North America and it is Alliance, so if you're not both of those things, you won't see the group. Hair is on point. Faded pink color is pow. It does look closer to my gnome, which I appreciate. That is kind of the dream. I got kicked out of a random group today. Oh no. It's a rite of passage though. I feel like that has to happen to almost everybody. My birthday was Wednesday. Crazy to not be a teen anymore. It's I'd say it's a whole new world, but it's really not. I don't know if I've ever had one year that I want to say dinged. That's not right. That's what you say when you level. I don't know if I've ever leveled up just once and then felt completely different than the last time. I always think I'm going to, but I don't. How is Neff doing? He's real good. I thought about setting up that camera on his tank, but I figure there'd be more going on if I put it in the other room because he's just one little dude and he hangs out. He gets around. He had some breakfast. He's developing a real personality. He's figured out how to beg me for food, and it's working. He gets to stay in there for 1 more week, so I move him over not tomorrow, but the following Saturday. Ever since I put the black sand in there, his top has darkened up a lot. Like, fish will tend to try and blend into their surroundings to some extent, and I didn't realize just how much he was going to blend. He's, like, almost completely black on the top, and he's still white in his belly. He's cute. How does time walking work? How far back should I start? So you... Explain.exe is shutting down. Time walking is an event that rolls around once in a while. You can keep track of when it's rolling around on the calendar, so you can see here time walking event begins, time walking event ends. They are themed to different expansions. So right now is time walking Cataclysm. There's also time walking Mists of Pandaria, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, etc. During a time walking event, you can queue for the dungeons of that. You can queue for a random dungeon, and at this point I think that's actually what we're going to do, is a dungeon, random time walking dungeon. You don't get to pick the specific one, but you can queue for a random time walking dungeon. In this case it's Cata, because that's the current event. It'll give you some experience if you're not 110, it'll give you some time warp badges, give you some gold. If you are 120, there's a quest you can pick up in your capital city where if you complete 5 of these, you will get a piece of normal raid loot if you're 120, and then the first one that you complete, you will get a quest item off the final boss that you can turn in for 500 time warp badges. So that's what I'm doing, is I'm just going on different alts to do that first one and get that first hit of 500 badges. You are able to use those badges to purchase loot off of vendors for each one, and those loot pieces are kind of themed. And by loot, I mean mostly like toys and pets and mounts and rep tokens. And those are themed to the past expansion that you did the time walking for. But the badges themselves are universal, so I don't need anything for the Cata vendor, so I'm just stocking up on badges right now. And then maybe when the MOP or the BC or the Wrath event rolls around, then I can spend them. Tips on making fishing bearable. I want the achievements in the Anglers rep. I don't think I've ever been this bored in my life. You gotta find yourself a good podcast. Or like a YouTube series or a Netflix series would work, but I find that a good podcast, if you can find one you like. Okay. I offer no promises as to the quality of my healing. I am at least familiar with these dungeons. I did heal back in Cata. I haven't healed recently, but I did heal back in Cata. So you would think that I'd know what's going on. I don't. Hey. And then the dungeon itself is just a scaled version of what it used to be, so it should be approximately as difficult as a random heroic. Sometimes the scaling is a little bit odd. Oh, cookie, that's a good idea. I definitely don't have water. Thank you, appreciate that. Throw that in my bar here. And, yeah, it should be good. Alliance Crest looks beautiful all the time. It's true, both of them look really good. The Alliance one always felt a little bit more busy than the Horde one. Like, the Horde one's got a really good simplistic punch to it. But you're right, they both look pretty cool. The toy that you get for doing... I may become a little bit less articulate as I attempt to try and heal and not let my friends down here. The toy that you get, why can't I mouse over myself? That's not working. Are these mouse overs? Are these mouse over macros? Am I... No, they're not. They're not. I do not have mouse over macros set up. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, well that's good to know. This is fine. Everything's fine. Tank is fine. I have a tiny piece of hair in my eye, and I think it's just from my bangs. I may need to cut them again. Will you play WoW Classic in video? Not planning on it. I don't want to say never. I might do one. I might try out the demo in a video, but I'm hesitant to, just because I know I'm not the target demographic in that I don't actually want to play WoW Classic. So it would be a little bit unfair for me to log in and go, wow, I don't like any of this, because I've never expected to. So I might, but I'm not currently planning anything. Hi Hazel, hope you're well. Thanks, Nasby. I'm doing pretty good. I am a little bit like... What's the word? I don't know what the word is. So I've got an anecdote for you. I've got a couple of them, but I've got one. And it's a little gross. It's not super graphic. I don't think anybody's going to be super upset. I hope not. I was upset, but that's because I was there. So in my area, we have these beetles. I'm going to call them beetles. They fly. They look like beetles. They kind of look like cockroaches, but they're definitely not cockroaches. I've checked. I've looked. I don't know exactly what they are. And there's a lot of them. They are everywhere. And they like to try and get inside this time of year. And we've been having one last warm wave of the season. So it's been getting cooler. I haven't been running the AC, but I have had to run it over the last couple days because it's been getting to about 86, 87 Fahrenheit. Close to 30 Celsius. Not 30, but getting up there. And, but I hadn't run the AC for a while because it had been chillier. And the other day when I first had to turn it on, and this is kind of on a backdrop of I've already had to catch a couple of these bugs and take them outside already. Like, they're pretty big, and because of that, I don't want to kill them, both because I don't especially like killing bugs, and because, especially if they're big, like, that's just gross. It's going to crunch, it's going to be a mess. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be there. I'm not there for that. So what I do is I have this big plastic cup, and I have a piece of, like, stiff mail, and I trap it, and then I chuck it outside. Problem solved. It's probably just coming around and coming back in again, but whatever. So I'd already taken a few of them outside at this point, and it's a warm day, it's in the afternoon, and I need to get the air cooler in my office, both for me and for the fish in here. And I turn it on, and there's this crunching noise. And it almost sounds like it's gonna quit. It almost sounds like an engine with something caught up in it. And that's unpleasant. And then one of these beetles flies out, and you don't see them fly often. They'll only fly if they have to. You don't see them fly very much. It flies out and lands on my desk. And that's upsetting, but it's fine. I, like, go to grab the cup, and then another one comes out. And, like, one was gross, but two is a horror movie. And, oh, man. And then, like, there's another crunching noise, and there's, like, a leg or something. There was, like, a piece of one. So the two that came out were okay. They were alive, and I took them outside. And then after that, it didn't seem to want to spit any more out, so I just left it running. It's hard to think about. I'm very squeamish. And now, over the last couple of days, anytime... I think because the weather's getting colder, they're just trying to come inside, like bugs often do. But now, over the last couple of days, whenever I have to turn it on, what I've been doing is I get the cup ready, I turn it on, and then I run back and I wait by the door, because I don't want to be within, like, the radius of stuff flying out of the thing. And I was so traumatized the first time because, like, I sit and do my makeup there. I don't have a good place to do my makeup, so I just sit in front of the window because there's natural light. So I sit on the floor and put my mirror on the windowsill and I do it there. And my face is like right next to where that AC is. And, oh, goodness. Anyways, gross story of the day. That one's over. When will there be Warlords Timewalking? They have not announced it yet, have they? Did they usually do it too? I think they'll probably add it during BFA if they haven't already. Maybe I missed it, but my understanding is that they haven't done it yet. And my understanding is also that they're kind of busy. I feel like smaller things that normally would have been taken care of by now are kind of being left to the wayside while they try to tackle the bigger issues that people are more vocally upset about. So I would assume sometime in BFA, but probably not yet. Okay. Time-walking vendors are in different places depending on which time-walking it is. The Cataclysm Vendor is up near the Throne of the Elements, so where your Cataclysm portals are. For Alliance, it's by the lake, kind of to the north side of the Stormwind Keep. For Horde, it's kind of the very north side of the city. It's in the back. It's like up a bunch, kind of back behind the flight point, sort of. There's a little lake. Your vendors should be out there. Okay. First time I watch your stream. There aren't many people who stream a chill farming gameplay. I thought quite a few people did it. I haven't been on Twitch in a while. I don't watch WoW streams much. But from what I remember, I feel like it was a pretty normal thing to do. Just because it's really easy to... There are some things that you can stream that are difficult to talk and stream while doing, and mount farming is one of them that lends itself to a more social and interactive stream, which is what I prefer to do. First stream I've caught live, chai from India. I doubt that this was from, like, obviously chai is, like masala chai specifically, like the spice blend is from India. I think this one came from... I actually don't know. This is the one that, this is the one from the mail time, from the fan mail that I unboxed this week. This is the chai from that. The big red tin. Salem from Dubai. It's cool. Help with fishing. Good camera placement helps for the bobber. You know what I haven't done yet is I have never gone and gotten those consumables that you get for making your bobber super big. I always use the toys that make your bobber into like a can of worms or a Vrykul helm or whatever. I use those a lot just because I did a lot of fishing for them and I'm gonna use them. But obviously the huge bobber is way better, especially if you're not in an area where other people have to, I need to heal. You know, if I'm not worried about getting in other people's way, then that seems like an obvious choice, and I've actually never ever done it. Like, not once, I don't think. This is gonna get ugly, I think, as soon as he pulls the thing in. Do I want to use a cooldown for this? Let's evaluate. Can I get away with just spamming prayer of healing? I'm in like half mana. I should try and drink after this boss. I have not been looking at my mana bar. That was actually the first time that I've checked it so far. I haven't healed in a while. Every now and then, that wasn't so bad actually. That wasn't so bad. Every now and then I encounter an issue where what issues do I encounter? What was I gonna say? I had a strong start to that sentence. There was just no end. There must have been an end when I started it, or I wouldn't have spit out those words. I just started farming this dungeon. Oh! I had an issue where I got a piece of loot from the first time walking I did this week on my other priest, and I disenchanted it, and it gave me a heavenly shard, which is the Cataclysm disenchanting event. That's not what's supposed to happen. They said in a blue post of some variety I was reading that they had hotfixed a lot of issues with time walking right now, so I'm assuming that's better. I don't know. Do I have enchanting this character? Can I find out? I do. Although I don't have, it would, like, because this character is still Legion level, I would assume it might, I don't know. I do appreciate that you get, experience. I mean, obviously you get experience, but when I've been doing these in characters that were not 120, it's not a bad amount of experience, you know, especially the first one, you get a pretty good chunk just for doing it, and I can get on board with that, you know. I've got a lot of leveling to do across these characters. I'm not in a particular hurry to do it, but doing it on my druid at least got me a good chunk. Okay. I do this dungeon all the gosh darn time, like looking for the mount. It's a nice one to do though, like it's pretty. This was I think the first dungeon I saw, maybe the second one. The first one might have been Throne of the Tides. But this is one of the first dungeons that I saw from Cataclysm back when Cata Beta coverage started. I was just watching it on YouTube. I didn't do YouTube back then, but it's just so pretty. They did a great job with Cata Dungeons. Are you excited to go to Blizzcon? Sometimes. It depends on what I'm thinking about in a specific moment. I am generally excited, and it kind of alternates with crippling anxiety just because I'm not a big traveler. And I am a huge worrier, and I've never been, and it's new and it's different and it's scary. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I bet it's not going to be nearly as scary as I think it's going to be. But, oh, I need to scooch up. We need to not be in the storm. But it's, I'm real scared. Super scared. It's gonna be fun. I'm pretty excited. I'm trying not to expect too much from, like, the thing that I'm trying to do to help my own anxiety is I don't really have an agenda. Like, I didn't even apply for a press pass, so I'm not there to make a video. I might try to make a video, but if it doesn't happen, that's fine. I'm not doing anything specific, really. There's not a whole lot that I have to accomplish or achieve. All I have to do is go, enjoy myself, and try not to faint. That's all I gotta do. I can handle that. I can get fancier next time. My aquarium story, African dwarf frogs are singing a lot. They're one of the cutest small animals. My dream tank is like an axolotl or a nude aquarium. And I am fishing, and wow. Axolotls look like so much fun, but I would need a chiller for them if I was going to have them here, because they require fairly cool water that is cooler than room temperature in most places, and while heaters are very commonplace and pretty cheap, chillers are expensive. They they cost a lot of money. Is he out of the thing? Did we drag him back? Can we drag him back a little bit more? So we can get out of the healing ring. Do I have life grip? I do. There we go. If he moves him back in the circle, I swear to goodness. Oh, he wants to be in the circle for healing himself. Okay. Well, that's fine, as long as the dragon's not in the circle. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I'm a little behind. I'm trying to read through as many as I can. Who else is buying e-tickets this year? I am a little bit glad that the virtual ticket is included within the actual ticket, and this was the year I decided to go, because if it hadn't been, I probably would have gotten it anyways, but I would have been more upset about the lack of a pet this year if I had not, I'm gonna wings him, if I had not, like, if I wasn't going, like, I got the ticket so I could go, and I get the other stuff, so it's fine, it's like a bonus, but if I was considering buying it just for the stuff, it would have been troublesome. I felt old when I turned 25. I ordered a lot of tea, so happy to restock on some pumpkin chai tea. That does sound good. Sounds like stink bugs? They're not, though. I know, because we have stink bugs too, and because I spent, like, the reason why I felt all, like, wiggly today was after the rest of that story. I forgot there was more to it. I mean, not really much more, but after I finished it, I'm an adult, I promise. After I finished editing the vlog, I was looking through insect ID guides today, trying to figure out which kind of bug it was, and I was just looking through pages and pages and pages of pictures of insects, and I looked through stink bug profiles, and it's not a stink bug. The bodies are too long. They're about an inch or so long. They do fly. They've got wings. I don't know what to say. So we may or may not be wiping here, but if we can kill any of these things. So brave to kill the bugs, I would be screaming. I didn't kill them, I just took them outside. How do you make it so the Gnosis cast bar only appears in combat? There is an option for that in Gnosis somewhere. I don't have it handy right this second, but I know that if you go into the Gnosis options, there should be an option to have it fade out of combat. Should I level my Void Elf for Pet Battle? Pet Battle on your Void Elf, and that will level it. There you go. What do you think of the virtual ticket items? I'm a little disappointed. Oh, there's a super chat, I missed that. I am a little disappointed, but because they're bonuses that I'm getting with my actual Blizzcon ticket purchase, I'm not too bad. Nilzars, thanks for the super chat. Hazel, never do Toldagor on Mythic. Korgus is hard. I don't like doing Toldagor on normal. Toldagor is, I think, my least favorite dungeon. Look at that dragon body. It's just not my favorite. Do you have the time walking mount drop? No, I don't. It's a pretty low drop rate. Like, Rarity has it at 1 in 4,000? That's pretty low. It's not much. I am not Hazel, but I use macros for mouse over healings. I heal too. What mouse over add-on to use? I also, when I have them set up, I use macros. I just have a macro for each spell for mouse over healing. I have not found an add-on that I like that will just do it. I don't, like, I didn't try it myself, but I watched my husband set up Click, and I'm not trying to bind my heels to my mouse buttons. I want them bound to the same buttons that I always are. I just want them to cast on my mouse over, and that's what mouse over macros do for me. Do I have a dispel here? Where's my offensive dispel at? Dispel, there we go. I would like to be able to take that thing off. Yeah, just macros. Is this the one where the final boss is jumping? I keep forgetting. I want to say no. The final boss in this one has the lightning triangle that you have to get into. I've just gotten into pet battles. I've been watching most of your videos on them. I should have some new stuff for you. Eventually. I was about to say soon, but I would hate to lie to you guys. Got sent home sick today. Going to enjoy a cup of chamomile tea and enjoy the stream. I hope that you feel better very soon. And until you feel better, I hope that you're able to, like, take the time to take care of yourself. I always, and maybe this is a little bit unhealthy, but because I'm very nice to myself when I'm sick, because I find that it makes me get better faster, and it also makes me less upset about being sick. To the point that I almost get, like, the sore throat and the sniffles, and I'm like, alright, you know, this is fine. I get a day or two off. So, and that's almost as good as, I don't know. I enjoy them more, I feel like, I don't know. Apply for press pass. That window is super closed. Like next year. Next year. I'm not worried about it. I have a regular ticket. There should be no problems. We need to drag the boss out. I didn't keybind it though. Let me see. Loop face. If we could just, it would be really great if you could just, there we go. That's my normal keybind. Okay. Axolotls are great. They're the only thing we had for a long time. I heard that you feed them worms, like earthworms? I don't know if I would, like, it looked gross. Obviously if I had an axolotl, I would feed it whenever it needed, but I'm hesitant to get one because I don't know if I'm comfortable with feeding it what it needs. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. These things hurt. They hurt. That chilling blast is gonna hurt. Actually, the chilling blast doesn't hurt that bad. Also, I forgot to drink, and I've been okay, so I think my mana's doing alright. Alright, no worries. We bred them for all? Ooh, that does. I've been dying to start breeding fish, and I'm not going to do it because I don't have the room for the extra tanks and whatnot. But I would love to breed. I want to try breeding the white clouds, but that just seems like a waste of time because they're so cheap, and obviously they must not be hard to breed, otherwise they wouldn't be sold as feeders. I would like to breed the Cories, and maybe get a male honey grommy to try and breed some honey grommies. Because my poor girl Chromie, I don't know if she's ever going to swim by there, but she looks like she's got eggs. She's pretty thick, and she's thicker on one side than the other. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to him. I believe we're just standing in the clouds. Those storms are very dangerous. Is there one over me? It does not look like there is one over me. Do I have a desperate pair? I do, okay. And then we're going to spam some flash heals. You know what I haven't used a single time yet so far? Holy Word Sanctify. Alright, there we go. That's a good one. That's a good button to have. That poor dragon body is just having a bad day. Big fan. Have you seen my fan art on Insta? I don't specifically recall, but that doesn't mean that I haven't seen it. I do, on many occasions, Instagram snoop people that follow me or like my pictures sometimes, just because you guys post cool stuff. Let's see. I'll be buying the virtual ticket. One day I will go to Blizzcon. I am a full proponent of the virtual ticket experience. Blizzcon is wonderful when you are able to just chill, be in your pajamas, make some snacks, have some friends over maybe. Like, that's the dream. If I had friends that cared about the stuff, and I could have, like, sort of like a pseudo party, kind of like a Super Bowl party, except that I've never had one of those, so I don't know what they're really like. But, you know, have some themed snacks and make some food and play some games in between stuff and watch some panels, have some stuff on. I think that would be fun. Can you imagine a BlizzCon virtual ticket viewing party LAN? Like, you get your friends to bring their computers over? Ooh, that would be a good time. If you don't jump, you get rooted. If you don't jump, you get rooted. I know what you're talking about, but I don't at the same time. I'm having a real blank moment there. Did you change your camera settings? Colors seem less intense. Yeah, I did. I changed them a lot. I am going to be experimenting over the next couple weeks to find a balance, because I do like having really intense colors. I watch the Great British Bake Off and I see how aggressively they color grade things, and I'm like, it's alright. I'm okay with hyper saturating stuff, but I need it to be less. I need it to be not what it was. So I'm gonna be adjusting things around, and it'll probably go through a few different phases, but I'm trying to get it to a better place. I've been looking around for a camera, not for streaming, but for like an updated vlog camera, because I'd like to move those to 4K. And I was all hyped that maybe Sony might announce the A7S III at Photokina. And they apparently just did an interview where they're like, well, it's not going to be ready for a long time. Like, you would be surprised at how long it's going to take us to get this thing out. Like, that's not what I want to hear. I don't want to buy an A7S II, and the competitor, I don't know. Researching cameras gives me a headache. I know some things, but I don't know a lot. And a lot of the reviews are very geared towards photography, which is not what I'm doing at all. You forgot to buff? Yeah, we got buffs. We got buffs. I almost just jumped off that thing. They eat the same bloodworms as bettas and earthworms by office as axolotls in the same crane as guppies. The fish disappeared. It was a bit sad. I know a guy at the fish store that said he keeps like a lot of White Cloud Mountain minnows with his axolotls, and for the most part they coexist, and I think he said the minnows might breed. I don't know if they breed or he just has like a lot of them, but the impression is that every now and then the axolotl will snack on them, and that's just kind of part of the ecosystem that he set up there. But bloodworms are less scary. Bloodworms I can handle. I do bloodworms with all my fish, actually. Neff loves them. I mean, he eats everything now. He eats super angrily. Like, he'll charge up, and he'll glare at me, and he'll just, like, snatch mouthfuls of food, and then he, like, chews. He just looks super mad every time he does everything. It's adorable. Had the same thing happen in our run. Just got the Brewfest Kodo Grats. Last boss, he does a safety triangle, a group to people. That's for the final boss? Oh, I need to pay more attention. Oh, I shouldn't read chat. My bad. That was my bad. Oops. Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. I need to like really quickly glance at the question or the statement and then move my eyes back over here while I process. Alright, off we go. How much does a Blizzcon ticket cost? I believe their full retail price was like $200. They're not on sale anymore, so you would probably end up paying a premium to somebody that was like trying to resell theirs. You might be able to find somebody to buy a ticket off of at full price, but at this point the name change window is closed, so whoever's name is on the ticket now must pick it up, and then they would be able to give it to you after that point if you met up with them at Blizzcon. A little tougher at this point. Good night, Hazel from Norway. If I can see a bug without my glasses, it's bigger than a quarter, it's a wrap. These are definitely bigger than that. These are a good size. And the worst part from earlier was today when I turned on the AC. I did the same thing. And one came out. One bug just wandered out of there all casual like, and I took him outside. And there was the same crunching noise, and directly following the crunching noise was a smell. And it wasn't like a stinky smell. Like it was like a stink bug or something, but the smell was kind of reminiscent of when somebody cuts grass, like a lawn. And it occurred to me that's probably, the smell from cutting the lawn is probably from all of those bugs just getting mulched by a lawnmower. And that's probably what my AC is doing to them, but I don't have a better plan because I gotta run it, and I don't have a great way to open it up, and honestly, I'm scared to look. That's been my life today. And this last couple of days, really. Anyone know why I can't pet battle the leafy flutterwings? Are you getting a area obstructed message? Or will they just not battle? Because there's two things it could be. One of them is it could be an area obstructed. There's lots and lots of issues. It's mostly been with underwater pets, but there's lots of places where if you don't have enough empty, flat space around you, it just won't let you battle. Sometimes there's no way around that. And then the other thing is make sure that you're trying to battle a battle pet, because there are often critters with the same name and the same model as the battle pet, but they're not actually battleable. So if it doesn't have a green paw icon when you mouse over it, then it's not a battle pet and there's no battling it. So I can chastise that guy to stop him from healing. We're having troubles. So something that I should point out just for you guys that are in this group with me, the tank cannot read our party chat. Our party chat is specific to the group that formed before we got in. You want instance. He can't read our party chat, is what I'm trying to say. Hello. This is gonna be a problem. I don't have an interrupt for that. This is the end. Do I have any, like, mana things? Do I have, like, a hope? Him, symbol of hope, him of hope? Restores missing mana. 2% every second. You're gonna give me 12% of my mana back? Wow. That's a slap in the face. Okay. I almost have that. I can kick that one. Yeah, we've been trying to talk to this tank in party chat this whole time, and instances where it's at. Tips for trying to sell battle pets. Be very patient, undercut as often as you can. And be very patient. Honestly, I've kind of given up. I had this Kovok that I was trying to sell for, like, felt like half a year. I had it for at least 3+ months, and I was just over it. And I know that's not a very long time in the scheme of life and whatever, but I was over it. And I just dropped the price until it went, basically. Alright, well, we're going to reset, probably. And now we know. CC one of the adepts. We have a Hex, and... Do we have... Yeah, we have a Hex and we have another thing. I don't want a Soulstone here, honestly, because of where I am. I think that would have gone poorly. So, we're good. Yeah. You can MC the healers. They cast their heal. It's good value if they're outside of the triangle. Oh, okay. I have not MC'd anything ever. Mind control. I'm gonna put that button there. I will play with that. Okay. So how do you move them if you can't kick them inside the thing? Like, the casters are casting, obviously. How else are you supposed to move them? The bugs sound like box elder bugs if they're red on their bodies. Let me Google that. Box elder bugs. Hang on, I need another browser window. Also, I need to kick this. If we could be a little nicer to the tank, I feel bad. He's just doing his best. I've seen a priest MC one of the ads. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, it's gonna kick it back up. Have mobs kill it and then tank aggros. Okay, so like before they're padding out, I'm gonna have to run back. I'm gonna be late. Melees have to interrupt them? We don't have any melee though. Like, we have one melee. We have the tank and that's it. Everybody else is it. Gotcha though. Okay, so we can wait for them to pad out. Take the portal on the right side? Oh. Good point. Good point. There are two. I'll be back in a second. Just wait for them to be out. Alright. Okay. Use a little bit more tea. wanna get in this one then? I need to get up on the thing. I feel very slow. I know I have feather, it does not feel like it's moving me very quickly. Also, I've been wearing headphones this whole time, and I don't think they do anything. Get a little music going on. Game, sound, music. More? There it is. Let me know if it's too loud, I can turn it down. Nice watch, dude. Thanks, man. You guys can do it. Hey, Hazel, I hope you're having a great day. Why, thank you. Doing okay. I am almost caught up. I apologize for making you guys wait. I will take the right-hand portal next time. And almost back. I'm kind of excited to try an MC one. Like, obviously, I'm sure my heals are probably more needed just regularly, but maybe I can MC and heal it. Are we polling? Is that what those shadows are? Or are they just patrolling? Oh, I've been summoned. Alright. We're here. Let's go. Right now. So, I'm gonna... Yeah, there we go. Good, good, good. Oh gosh. What's happening? Alright, well we got one, that's good. We got the other one. What happens if I MC this guy? Can I just jump him off the edge? Alright. I don't know if that worked, but, that's how I used to MC in PvP. That was the only thing I would do, is I would walk people off the edge, so that's my plan. That's all I got. I don't know. We'll see. He might come back. Oh, is that him? I could heal with the Adept apparently, but they're both CC'd so nicely. So I have Lightning Lash. Well, this is fun. I should probably heal though. I want to get out. I want to get off this wild ride. I want to exit. How do I stop? The exit button's not working. Alright, well, whatever. Just tuned in. Hair looks great today. Really does look gnome pink. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not through the magic of having done anything different to my hair, but through the magic of having set up my camera slightly differently. Oh man. I felt like I had one more story to tell you guys. It's not a huge, super crazy story. I decided, and I think this was right after watching the Great British Baking Show, that I wanted to make fortune cookies. I had seen recipes online before. They looked pretty simple. And after having watched somebody do it on TV, I felt qualified to try and make some. And I went and I looked up a recipe online. It didn't seem right. It had way too much sugar in it, but it had lots of great reviews on all recipes. So I tried it. And it didn't go well. I think I overwhit my eggs. I think I made them way too fluffy. And the cookies had a lot of sugar, and they ended up kind of turning to like marshmallow, which is strange because I've never made that before, but I had so much fun writing the captions that it never, that it was okay. I had to throw the rest of them out though. I always feel so guilty whenever I bake things without you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna MC this one on the side. I'll MC this one on the side. Well, it's already CC'd, but if I MC, then I can heal. I'll just leave it alone. I'm just gonna live my life and do my job. The normal one that I'm set out to do. How many people will die to static ling? We'll see. Hopefully it should be fine. I'm gonna dispel. I'm gonna wings him. I'm gonna CC one of, well, CC. I'm gonna chastise one of them. One pack is directly inside the triangle. You need a melee kick to get him out. Oh yeah, those guys. Okay. Well, that might be a problem. Well, we can ask the tank to kick the adept. As long as we're, well, I tried. That's a lot of damage. That's all I had. Tuning may still be a little bit iffy on some of these. And I'm level 110. It's not like my scaling's gonna be anything super crazy. Escape to exit MC. There was like an exit button that I was spamming that wasn't working. I should try the actual exit key. My brother is a big fan. Is late for him, so he can't go on the computer. He just wanted me to say hi. Well, shout out to Sparkout, Jack's brother. I lost what else I was going to say. No such thing as too much sugar. Well, for certain types of things there were. Like, it was a decent cookie, but it wasn't right. Like, they didn't harden. They were still kind of bendy. If I had showed those to Paul and Prue, or Paul and Mary, they would have been very upset. I got off work late and missed everything. I just watched the show, or the episode where they made fortune cookies. I gotta try again. You know, there's not that many ingredients to them. I'm gonna try a smaller batch, so that if I do it wrong again, I can just chuck it and then start again with just, like, you know, it's just like 1 egg white and a little bit of flour. It's not a big deal. I want to try again, because I love fortune cookies. And you know that the ones that you get when you order Chinese food or whatever, they can't be that good, because they throw them in for free. They seem like they've been in their packets for a long time. Oh, I think we're doing okay. Hopefully we get some MCs. Good. Alright, we got a Hex, we got a Poly. We're in business. I hate stairs. Nobody's in line of sight. I'm going to dispel. And I'm going to start spamming my flash heal right now. This heal. And this one. I'm going to worry mostly about the tank. I'll give you a hot, but here we go. I don't usually have to play, I usually don't have to think this much about WoW when I'm playing, when I'm doing stuff on stream. The next 2 characters that I need to do are both DPS only, so I'm just gonna be trying to live my life, and other people will have to pick up my slack. Some of that dungeon's still super overtuned. I think it's just the damage, like their health is a little high, but it's manageable. It's mostly just things just trucking the tank. Let him be claimed. Hazel, would you ever do a podcast of any kind? I used to have a podcast. Me and a friend called Wow Mardian did one together called the Emerald Dreamcast. We made it like 5 to 7 episodes or so. We ended up stopping doing the podcast. We had a difference of opinion of which direction we wanted it to go, and we decided to end the project. And I haven't really, like, considered being on a full-time one since. I do guest every now and then. I've been on the, I've been on Training Dummies twice now. And I usually try to link those episodes in, like, the vlog description after I've been on them. But I don't know if I would do another full-time, like, every week one. Because I feel like I use all my, I tell all my good stories on the not good stories. Hey guys, yesterday my AC spit out a bug. I use all of my talking power on my streams, and I don't know if I would have a lot left for a regular show. This is upsetting. This is a lot of damage. Healing is kind of fun though. I won't lie. Like, especially when it's a little bit tense like this, and you feel like it's important that you press your buttons, it is a little fun. I'm getting a little thrill out of it. Glad I'm not the only spam healer. Sometimes it's the only way. Sometimes that's all you got. Update your Warcraft pets collection. I passed you. It can't be right. I need to update it, but also I am very behind. I still don't have most of the safari pets. Next time that we do... Alright, so static cling. Stand in the triangles. Yes. Next time that we do a pet collecting stream, I am changing my tactics, whereas previously we've gone on this whole thing where I go, alright, so static cling is, well, we can dispel it, and then I can, do I have MD my bars? Why do I have no keybinds in this priest? I would like to know. So grounding field over here, and then I can dispel that too, so we can get in, and, oh, I gripped the wrong person, you had blocked, you were fine. Alright, well, it's fine. We're good. We got this. I'm not really worried about mine. I guess I wanted to dispel mine early so that I have my dispel up for the next person to get static linked. Can you not get static linked by jumping? I thought it was just something that got dispelled. And there's another one. Where are you at? There you are. Go. I do have a divine hinge should I need it. I'll catch up on chat after the fight. I would hate to embarrass myself. Oh, we need to spread out more, right? Like that's a chain lightning. I should probably not be stacked. still chain lightning. It has been a while since I've done this. I'll save my sanctuary for the thing. None of us need that. After this dungeon, I need another cup of tea. My Squirrel Squad mug is almost out. Is this your triangle? This triangle sucks. Okay, there we go. Are we all here? We're all here. You can avoid it by jumping? Huh. I don't like jumping. It's hard. Takes away from my spamming flash shield button. Alright. Thanks, guys. I can't mount up here, otherwise I would offer a repair mount. So I'm going to... So this is the quest that I'm talking about that I'm just trying to grab once per character. So take that. Go turn it in. And then I will make a cup of tea. And then I will get into a fresh group for the next character. And I will not be able to heal next time, so maybe I'll chat more. We'll see. Thanks, guys. Finally made it to a live stream. I'm popping in and out while at work. Thanks for entertaining me. No problem. Such a humble person. Love your streams. I don't know. I've got an ego. I think most people do, and some people's are bigger than others. If you want a rare battle pet from the wild, what color window do you look for? If you want a rare battle pet from the wild, what color window? What's a color window? The rare ones are blue quality. Is that the question? I might be misunderstanding. But that does remind me that I was talking about finding rare battle pets, and previously the way I've been doing it is being like, well, I'm just going to keep battling them until I find a blue one, and then I'll catch that one, and in the meantime, all those other ones that aren't blue, will fight them, and I'll use that experience to level up my pets. I'm over that now. The next stream that we do that's collecting battle pets, we're just going to be collecting the first one of everything that we find. I will catch them all up with just upgrade stones, and that will be the end of that. We'll get the safari done, and that's that. Oh, you know what I want to show you guys, though? I want to show you something. So, hang on. I'm going to grab a pet. Let's see, what's a good pet? That's a cute one. Let's grab, here's a fox. That cute little fox. And we got this toy, and the toy is for doing a variety of BFA Battle Pet World quests. So because I think I've done like 20 different ones, you get the laser pointer, and you throw that on the ground. So I'm gonna put this in my bar so you can see a little more clearly. So we throw that somewhere on the ground, and then the fox is just gonna go and grab it. And most pets will do that. It puts out like a little firework. It's on a 5-minute cooldown. Love that toy. Super cute. Any advice for 60 to 80 leveling, switching realms and factions? I'll be seeing a lot of Northrend in the next few months. I don't have any good advice. My advice is still the same as it has been in the past videos I've done, which is basically just mix it up if you get bored. Try things like pet battles and archaeology, and like pet battle daily specifically. It's not great, but it's a change. And aside from that, just find a good podcast, find a good live stream, find some nice YouTube videos. Alright. So that's that. The next character on the list, if we're heading down the list, is going to be my mage. I need to do one of my mage and then one of my hunters. So I'm going to get up, freshen up my tea. I'll be back in like a minute or so. In the meantime, I'm going to give you guys a bigger version of the fish cam. This is still not the whole camera, but we're going to blow it up and I'll be back shortly.
there she is. I was gonna say, where the Garami at? You can kind of see her. I know there's a lot of glare. Short of streaming at night, I don't have a great way to get around that. This is mostly the Corridor corner. You're gonna see the occasional minnow in the top left, but this is mostly where the Corys hang out. Okay, there we go.
Oh boy. Alright, what did I say? Mage. It's my bank all. She's gonna do a time walking. It's gonna be a mess. Big mess. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what spec I'm gonna do. Come my tank for the next 2 time walks? Alright. Suggestions for calming teas. Herbal specifically. Try different herbal teas to see what you like, because if you think it's gross, you're not going to be very calm. Chamomile, peppermint, and then like more floral ones, like a rose tea can be nice. Where to get the laser toy? You want to do the achievement. Let's see, pet battles. It's battle on Zandalar and Kulturest. Do 20 different pet battle world quests using 25 pets. So if you do them with lower level pets, you won't get this. But with full teams level 25 pets, do at least 20 of the different sets. That's how you get that. So I have frost buttons here. I don't know what they all do, but I have them. They're on my bars. That's a good start. I have talents chosen. I don't know what they do, but I have them. That's a good start. I'm going to make the group. So it's going to be called, again, Hi and Hazel. This is for time walking. There's going to be 1 only, and I need 2 DPS and a healer. No, 2 DPS, a healer, and a tank. That's it. Do you have the leather pet bed toy? It's the best. I don't think that I do. What do you think about the Pet Battle World Quest, this expansion? They seem easy. I don't have a problem with them being easy. I think they are a little easier compared to some of the Legion ones. Like some of them are a little trickier. But I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me. I thought she was going to wave in the reflection of the tank. I was thinking of going up to the tank and putting my finger on it so you can see how my, I think that's it. I think that's what we need. So you can see how my Garami Chromie waves at me. She'll come up to the glass and she'll wiggle her little fin at you. It's adorable. Alright, so that is it. That's what we need. Queue us up. And I apologize in advance for my frost maging. No idea what to do. Not a clue. I can sheep stuff though. Oh no. Oh no. She must be AFK. Don't kick her. Tip for collecting Island Expedition pets: kill all the rares, open up the loot table for chances that pets bounce Mog's toys. I saw a thread about that. It looked really interesting. I don't know if it's going to change how most people do Island Expeditions, because I'm still probably going to just follow the trend. I'm not good enough at killing things on my own to really strike out and try and farm the rares. But like if I'm in a group with guildies and I'm in Discord with them and I can say, hey, we might get stuff if we do this thing, then they'll probably do it with me. Today I got my 150th curious coin. Nice! Any good add-ons for easy pet battle teams to counter world quests? Add-ons? I don't know. Like if you already have... Hang on, I need to do damage. Blizzard. That procced. Flurry. No. Which ones do these cleave? Frozen Orb! And I can kick a heal. That's something. I'm gonna pop a cooldown. I'll throw down another Blizzard. I don't want to know what details it's going to tell me. I really don't want to know. There's a skull on the other Spirit Vendor, so I should be attacking that one. That's a good start. When do I want to do anything? Which blue button do I press at any given time? None of these buttons are Shadow Priest buttons, and therefore I don't know what I'm doing. So my kick is only every 20 seconds. It's not great. Oh, I want to spell steal. It's which button? There. No. Is that spell steal? That's remove curse. Which one is spell steal? Spell steal. Oh, it looks like that. Oh, I have it on a 7. Okay. So I'm gonna keep frost bolting the Spirit Vendor lady. I have a kick up for next time. I feel like I could be sheeping the other one, but she's also almost dead. and that would just heal her. Next time I will CC one of the Spirit Menders. And that'll go a little faster. Terrible at mage despite it being my first character in WoW. Okay, so spell steal. Oh yeah, look at me. My haste is reduced by 10%. Excuse me. I don't want that. What do you mean? Why would they buff themselves with that? Does it do anything else? Does it absorb damage, or does it just reduce your haste by 10%? I was so excited to spell steal something. Oh no. Love that time walking rep tokens are account bound. Just waiting a month to get my mop reps open up. Nice. For a second you scared me, and I thought you were going to say that time warp badges were account bound. And I was about to be like, what? Man, then I would really need to run it on everything. Okay. Does anybody have any, like, 10-second advice that I can comprehend from reading, like, a 2-sentence chat message that'll tell me how to play a Frost Mage? Right now, I'm just kind of spamming Frostbolt, pressing Ice Lance when it's procced, and otherwise maybe casting Flurry if it's either procced or it sounds fun. You know, that's all I got right now. What do I do? Just go Arcane? But I'm a Frost Mage. I'm blue. Am I supposed to have a pet? There's a Summon Water Elemental. There we go. That'll help. Alright. Spam time warp problem solved. I mean, that's a good place to start. Get the leather pet bed. Most pets will hop on and lie down on it. Is it a... I mean, I'm assuming it's a leatherwork and crafted based on the name of it. That sounds like it would be a likely bet. I feel like I want to open up details so I can see how not damage I'm doing, but I also don't want to know. I'm not ready to know. Ice Lance after Flurry always. Okay. Ice Lance after Flurry. Do I only Flurry when it's lit up, or can I Flurry whenever? It doesn't have a cooldown. I'm not used to things not having cooldowns. Frostbolt until stuff procs, that's Frost Mage done. Never hardcast Flurry. Don't try to tank. Alright. Oh, you've got a really cute dog for your profile picture. Spell Steal, Tidal Surge on the Elemental in the Hall to the last boss. Okay. I will try to remember that. Never hardcast Flurry. Okay, so I spam Frostbolt. When stuff procs, I press it. After Flurry, I press Ice Lance. Only use Flurry and Ice Lance when procced. Spam Bolt, use procs, use Orb on cooldown, Blizzard large packs. Okay, I can do that. I have Orb. It's on a 1-minute cooldown. Ice Barrier is just defensive. Spell Steal is just Spell Steal. What else do I got? Invis, Icy Veins. I'm gonna put Blizzard over here, actually. I'm gonna put Blizzard down right here. I do like the visuals of it. They've definitely done some good work here. What's your favorite pet? Kind of depends. I'm most sentimental about the Green Wing Macaw because that was my first one. But my Nightmare Whelp is one that I have out a lot of my priests. Although lately I've been favoring Scuttle because I got Scuttle out of one of my, like, my second ever island expedition, and that was just so unlikely, and he's such a cool one. Like, he was one of my top ranked pets, just cuteness wise for island expeditions, and I'm pretty happy with that. Then use Ice Lance to crit. Okay. Sums up Frost Mage, also use Frozen Orb. Hate the Jellyfish Elevator? How do you mentally deal with having 999 alts? I accept that I am going to play none of them. Unless there's a specific reason to. So, I have a main, and if I'm going to do anything, I'm mostly doing it on the main. The only reason I'm logging onto an alt is for, like, a specific purpose that I'm well aware of. So, like, for example, mount runs, you know. For mount runs, that's pretty specific, and it's very limited. Like, I don't need to gear them up for mount runs. I just do the mount runs on them, and that's done. For this, it's just because they already had... Hang on. I'm going to sheep somebody. And then I'm gonna Blizzard. I'm gonna Orb. Do I ever want to use Cone of Cold? It does damage. Is it any good? Spell Steal in this well won't work. It'll still AoE dot your team. Beware. Okay. So we probably want to be on the Spirit Mender. I will Skull it. Oh, I X'd it. That's not what I meant to do. And, oh, I'm hardcasting Flurry. I'm sorry. Oops. I'm just so disappointed in that bubble giving me negative 10% haste. That's just... I was so excited. Like maybe I want a cone of cold to like cleave, you know? Maybe it's a good cleave. So we do flurry. Does that cleave? I don't know. I probably have all the wrong talents. My whole sheep DX. I can do that. I can do that. I'm ready. Look at that. All right, it's an actual sheep, which is boring, but you know that's okay. I saw one of my guildies has polymorph B, and it always comes out. Oh, I'm gonna reshoot. It always comes out in Zekvaz when we're doing. I can kick the hex. I'm gonna have to keep reshaping it. Why does it keep getting broken out? I'm gonna Zekvaz on the caster ads. I don't know what's breaking it out. So we're still killing this one, and I'm still sheeping this one. I don't know what's breaking it. I'm gonna face this way just in case something I'm doing is like firing out projectiles that I'm not aware of. I just need to keep an eye on it. And then ice stuff. Cone only if kiting is involved. Okay. Good to know. My favorite is the ghost shell crab. It's the first one at 25. It carried my team to 25. That's a pretty good one. That was a really pretty one. I remember when they first started coming out with like the fancier crabs in, I want to say Warlords. They had them before that, but they started really beefing up their crab selection at Warlords. They had some cool stuff. Heard some story that island pets drop from specific rares. You need to collect stuff. You need things done to have a drop chance. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't heard anything confirming it, but I haven't heard anything denying it. Alright, I'm gonna sheep one of them. That one. There we go. I'm helping. Assuming that we're not retrapping that one, then we probably need to... A mage table? I could do that. Probably after this pack, though. I want a blizzard. I want a frozen orb, and I'm going to fire it kind of this way so that it doesn't do that. And then we ice lance after flurry. I don't know why I'm trying to learn this. Like, I'm never going to need this. I don't even know if frost is good for mages. It's probably not. I don't have any plans of being a mage. If I was going to not be a shadow priest, I'd probably be a warlock. I am very slow. I have 20 stacks of bubble shield. Oh boy. Press N, click arcane, and click activate. Oh man. Okay, so for mage table, I think it's just the conjure made food button, right? Conjure refreshment. There we go, I'm helping. Woo! That's really my favorite thing of WoW. That's why I play WoW, you know? That feeling when you do something and you're like, I helped. That's all I really want from my life. I just want to feel like part of a team. Islands have loot. Yeah, that's how a lot of people feel. They do have a chance to give you something at the end. The way they set it up is just super it's unintuitive. It doesn't really imply that killing certain things would give you this stuff, but apparently that's how it works. So are we gonna kill this guy first? We should just grab this guy and pull him out this way. Yeah, there we go. We're good. So flurry, lance, and spam bolt. I can get on board with the spam bolt and wait for things to proc playstyle. I like the fantasy of, you know, I've got my water elite somewhere. I've got my little ice shield. I look pretty cool. Like if I had a proper frostmage transmog, this would be kind of neat. I'd like to know if I'm doing competitive damage now that I at least have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. Probably not. Thanks for the stream. Makes evenings at work go by quicker. Have you done the drowned mana fishing grind yet? I went back and started that last night. No bueno. I did do it. Drowned mana was way, way, way easier to do when there were groups farming it, and there may still be groups that you can find that farm it, but now that there's no more auto-accept, it's the golden age for that is basically behind us. You can still grind it, but back in Legion, you would get raid groups, and people would use those buff items basically back-to-back, so you would be able to just spam farm them. So I'm going to get the one on the left with my sheep. And then we've got a trap for that one. Okay. And then I'm going to kick that one so that she comes over that way. And it looks like we're tanking them right here. Look at that. I am so proud of us as a team. That was a thing of beauty. Hey Hazel, do you watch American Horror Story? I have never seen it because I looked at a trailer and it looked scary. And I don't like things that are scary. I have a very low tolerance. Like, I can't watch horror movies. I can barely watch horror trailers. I sometimes have to mute the TV or, like, the computer if an ad for a horror movie comes up as a pre-roll on YouTube. I just have no tolerance for it at all. So, let's do... I will reshape. So no, it looks scary. I couldn't even watch the first season of Supernatural. Yeah, somebody definitely has like an Azurite trait or something that's popping at some stuff. Try and do more damage than the healer and you're fine. I mean, I guess so. If the healer was a disc priest, that could be kind of tough. We have a disc priest in our guild that prides himself on doing as much damage as possible. It's usually decent. Let me grab my details macro. I don't know if I'm going to show you guys yet. I have to decide if I'm happy with it first. Also, I just spent a bunch of time pulling it out, so that pull doesn't count. Falling asleep. Have a good stream, everyone. See you later, Morncrete. I'm collecting even orange in islands just in cases. I helped. That's I would say a good guild name. It's not really. I feel like that would be a good arena healer name for me, because that's usually how I feel at the end of a game. Like, arena healing sometimes feels very under, like you're just kind of there to try and not mess up. Like, you're not really accomplishing anything. Obviously, if you get a great CC chain, that's exciting. But for the most part, you're just there to not die and not let anybody else die and, you know, don't mess up. So you just run around, and if you can not mess up for long enough, hopefully your partners can figure something out, and at that point, you can say, I helped, even though you didn't do much. I mean, CC, obviously, but still. I've been wanting to find time for it again. I just don't have it yet. I look pretty cool. There's auto-accept again. There's auto-accept, from what I understand, on raid groups. So if you've got a group for a world boss and it's a raid group, if you've got a group for a world quest that is a rare elite mob, let's see that one, then that's something that you can have auto-accept for, but as I understand it, and I could be wrong, I haven't checked recently, there is still no auto-accept for your average everyday group. I guess, actually, you know what, you're right. If it was a raid group, like a fishing raid group, which it would be, then you could probably do auto-accept. Probably. I would assume. I don't know. For the Horde, if you had to pick a favorite melee DPS class, which would it be? Ooh, you found the one thing that I never do. of ranged melee, between ranged melee and healing and tanking, melee DPS is actually the bottom of the list. It's the thing I would like to do the very, very least. So I've never really thought about that. Maybe, rogue, I guess? Like assassination rogue? Probably. AHS is great. AHS. Noob healer focusing on damage. I mean, as dis, you do the damage, and then the healing just happens, you know? It's just a side effect. That's kind of how it works. Supernatural is only scary the first 2 seasons, then it's just demons and eating pie. There's so many seasons, though. There's so many. Oh. Who are we doing? We're doing the honor guard first. It's just one of those things where you look at it and you're like, I don't know if I can catch up on this. I feel like they continue making this for the people that are already into it. If you're not already into it, it just looks like a lot. There's a lot going on there. Place your bets for death by water spout? For me or for anybody? Because I'm on top of it. I am scooching. I am moving? Probably? I moved out of the first one. What else can you ask? I really do feel like I'm spending 99% of my time just spamming Frostbolt. Like, my Frostbolt fingers are kind of getting tired. Is this what it's supposed to be? At least, you know, my water ellie's doing the same thing, so he's on board. I press Frozen Orb. I need to do Frozen Orb and Icy Veins more. That'll help. I am doing more damage than the healer. I'm doing less damage than everybody else, but more damage than the healer. So that's something. And then we get another boss over here. No auto except for custom made groups. Oh, that's a bummer. I need to sleep, drunk, and midnight in the UK. Night, Hazel, and chat. Have a good one. American Horror Story looks scary on the surface. It's more of an in-depth fake horror mystery. If there are unexpected loud sounds, then I'm out. Jump scares, even if they're not scary, still upset me. And I'm not here for them. Okay, so I'm gonna Icy Veins this time. And I'm also gonna Time Warp. Why not, you know? Where is it? Do I have it? Do I unlock it later? There we go, Time Warp. I want to have it somewhere where it's nearby, but it's not actually on a bar. Oh, so now I have more procs to press. You know, you Icy Veins, you Time Warp, and you throw out a Frozen Orb, but all of a sudden you got buttons for days. This is alright. I always liked this boss. He's a fun dude. Now I'm sad though that I don't have the all that haste. Like all that haste, I got used to it. Maybe I shouldn't have stacked them up. Maybe I should have spread them out a little bit. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Is my elemental still around somewhere? My pet frame is like hidden behind my party frames up here, so I don't really know where it's doing. We like to live our separate lives. I check in once in a while, but you know, you gotta let your water elemental do its own thing. They gotta grow up sometime. Even though Shadow isn't in the best place right now, would you recommend it to someone else to play if they're looking for a ranged DPS? If they like the look of it, then yeah. I think that playing Shadow is about more than one patch. I think that if you don't like it in the way it is, it'll probably change and get different and maybe you will like it. It's it does very well in island expeditions right now. It does pretty good in dungeons. And I do pretty good in several fights in raid. Like, that's all I ever expected from a class, is that for there to be 1 or 2 fights where I can kind of place top 3. And then for the rest of the fights, if I'm middle of the pack, then that's fine. Within my average run-of-the-mill heroic raiding guild, like not on a sim chart. Basically. That's where I'm going with that. So, I'm satisfied. Guildy Mine regularly does 10k at 350. 10k is acceptable for Crook. I would say it's a little better than acceptable. It's impressive in 350. I'm almost 360, and maybe again this is the Shadow Priest thing, but I'm only really breaking 10k if I get to cleave. On single target, I think I'm still doing like 8 or 9. But again, it's single target is definitely not the forte of the Shadow Priest. So you want me to spell steal the Tidal Surge off of the elemental in the hallway to the last boss, which is probably this guy. So I will try to remember to spell steal his Tidal Surge. Maybe it'll be really good. Are we all here? Mostly. Boss on the right. We don't need it though. Do we? We need it for anything? I'm just going to be focusing that guy. Because I want him to Tidal Surge so that I can take it. They did say the last boss. I'm not seeing the buff though. I'm assuming that it'll pop up really big. Like typically if there's a spell stealable, oh that's the one. Take it. Oh, I got it. I'm doing damage to enemies. Oh, well that's okay. It's not great. I've seen better. I guess I'm taking it off of them so that they're not doing it. But spell stealing something is way more fun than purging it. You know. Am I doing damage to my friends? Are you guys trolling me? Was I not supposed to do that? Hey Hazel, hey Ethan, how you doing? The last season of American Horror Story I watched was Hotel, and it was fantastic. Super creepy. Lady Gaga is amazing. They put Lady Gaga in it? That's cool. I like Shadow and Dungeons and Raids. Leveling content I went dis. I think that's fair. I think outdoor world leveling is the place where Shadow is the least effective. Oh, that reminds me actually. I need to do... Oh, I didn't buff anybody. Let's buff. Even, like, the place where we excel right now is really big burst cleave. There's a spider in my ceiling. Really big burst cleave. So, like, you gather up, like, 6 to 8 things, and mind you, you're going to have enough health to live while you do this. You get up, you get ready for a Void Eruption, and you go, Void Eruption, well, maybe you throw out, like, your Dark Void first. So your burst that puts your Shadow Pain and everything. You throw out that, you throw down your Shadow Crash, you throw out a Void Eruption, and then you press Dark Ascension to Void Eruption again. You do those 4 things really quick, and you're going to do a sizable burst of damage, and the more things you can do that to, the better. So if you can line all those stars up while gathering up a bunch of mobs and not dying in PvE, it's pretty good. And if you feel like you're about to die, pop Vampiric Embrace before you do it so that all of that damage heals you and you'll be fine. Works a little better on a Blood Elf because, or a Void Elf rather, because Void Elves don't get pushed back by damage, so those 6 things hitting you won't stop you from casting all that stuff. Yeah, one big guy at a time for sure. But lost my train of thought. All gone. I play on NA servers. Tips for leveling a Shadow Priest, specifically noobs. Don't worry as much about putting your dots on everything as you think you need to. If it's gonna die in like less than 10 seconds, then don't worry so much about your dots. Mostly, like, the most important thing is making sure that you're doing Void Bolt if you have it. Like, Void Eruption if you have it, Void Bolt if you have it. Don't, like, sit on your Void Eruptions waiting for, like, the best ever moment to use it. You're gonna get another one. Just throw it out there. It's a great cleave. And then use Void Bolt while you have it available. There's a site called warcraftpriest.com, and their Shadow Priest guide, they've got, like, a quick start version, and they also have a full version that goes over the rotation. And it's, that's where I learned my priorities and such. So one spell I mentioned earlier that's bugged if you spell steal. Oh, is that what people were telling me to spell steal it, or did it used to not be bugged? Okay, I'm gonna stop spell stealing that because it appears to hurt. I think I'm hurting my friends. The buff says it should only be hurting enemies, but I do appear to be hurting my friends, so I'm gonna stop that. Beast, humanoids, critters. So I can't CC that. But we can just attack the first one. Just wanted to pop into your stream to thank you for all your great pep battle vids. Thanks for watching them, Sim Donut. Say thanks for all the videos on YouTube. Cheers. Mages that forget that spell steals the purge are frustrating. Doing mystics, purge, please. We actually had a lot of fun. I don't know if fun's the right word. We had an interesting time in Zul because our mage kept spell stealing. He was trying to help us dispel the ads. So he would spell steal the buff, like the Minion of Zul buff, and what would happen was he would do a bunch more damage because the buff gives you more damage, but as soon as somebody took the buff off of him, he would die, because that's the thing, when the buff gets dispelled, you die. So he would spell steal the buff, and then somebody would dispel him, and he would just fall over, and he'd be like, I don't know why I died. And it took us like half the night of progression just to figure that out, and it was a really beautiful moment when we got there. Oh goodness. Looks like I missed most of the stream. Good to be here. What's going on tonight? Welcome, Brittany. We're doing some time walking, so I'm running one character at a time, just through one of them, to get that first quest item that gives you the 500 charms. We did, I healed him on my priest. We did Vortex Pinnacle. And now I'm attempting to damage on my mage in this Throne of the Tides. It's been an hour and a half for 2 dungeons. Time walking definitely goes a little bit slowly these days, and I'm not a terribly good DPS, but like, I don't know what I'm doing here. But we've been having a good time. I'm so upset, no Blizzcon Murloc pet this year. It's a little sad. I was looking at all my Murlocs and thinking about the fact that they're not going to get a new buddy. And then I remembered I can only have one pet out at a time anyways. They probably never would have met. What are your thoughts on the virtual ticket bonus when you consider the price increase? Love your stream and videos. You brighten my day. I'm a little disappointed. I would have preferred different things. I'm not personally invested in the WoW Classic experience, so that's kind of a no-go for me. I don't wear cloaks, so that one's also kind of void for me, so it's pretty much just a banner toy. I would prefer something different, but they don't really owe me anything. And if you don't like... I mean, I'm kind of the opinion that if you don't like what they're selling, you don't have to buy it. I didn't actually know before today that they had raised the price on the virtual ticket. I didn't really look into it because I'm actually going this year. So it does raise the question of, well, what are they offering for more? But they can just, like, they can raise it for any reason they want, really. I don't know. I'm not mad about it. I'm disappointed, but I'm not mad. The buff actually reads dies when removed. So my question is, if my mage spell steals that buff, on the minion of Zol in the Zol fight. And just run around doing more damage. If nobody dispels him, is he fine? Like, obviously somebody's eventually going to have to dispel him if he gets the other buff, the other debuff, the one that makes him jump off the edge. Like, it's not a thing that can last forever. But will it eventually expire? Or will it expire and then he dies? Or can he just live his life like that? Which would he get first, the Fell Piglet or the Nether Pup? I think I've used the Nether Pup before for stuff, but the Fell Piglet's pretty cute too. Neither of them are really going to make or break your pet battling life, so I would recommend going for the one that you want. I'm going to time warp us here and get started on this next thing. Got a lot of stuff to damage through. And after the time warp, I'm going to save my icy veins for that. I feel like by the time we've gotten to the point where you're just hitting the octopus at the end, you're pretty much good. So this is a decent spot for it. Another 10 seconds. The crystal mechanic felt really cool to me until I realized you don't really do anything. You know, you can... I mean, I guess, like, after Flurry, you get... I don't really understand how it works. But unleashing all the crystals doesn't really feel all that cool. I thought it would be cooler than it turned out to be. And there's some Blight Beasts going on. They're just getting tanked around. It's totally fine. I used to really like rooting the Blight Beasts. I used to feel so cool. I'd be on my Resto Druid, and I would root one of those guys, and then you wouldn't have to deal with it because it would just be there, and it couldn't hit you because it was rooted. I don't have any, I mean, I guess I have like freezing roots. I don't know how long those last. Are we buffed? Do we have to kill them? Do we get our buff? The floor is, there we go. There's a buff. Where's the boss? There he is. There's the big boy. Do you have to kill him or just, like, make him mad? You guys see that clip? It was, like, floating around on social media. I saw it pop up on Twitter. The kayaker, and he's kayaking, and then there's a seal that comes up, and the seal has an octopus, and the seal slaps the guy with the octopus. It was the funniest thing. Probably a bad day for the octopus, but I feel like he was getting eaten anyways. Might be able to ice block to remove it? Good point, good point. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we have 2 priests, so we can usually try to coordinate our master spells. But, yeah. Alright. Throner Tides. That's done. Also, I got like half a level of experience. Not mad about that. And then, I got a neck. I can wear that. Although, I'm still wearing an heirloom neck. Is it gonna cap out? Yeah. Won't scale anymore. So I can wear this new piece of gear. That's fun. Alright. Thanks, guys, for that one. I am going to leave, turn that in, and the next character that he's doing is a hunter. We got one more, and hopefully I can do enough damage to my hunter to make it happen in less than like an hour. We'll see though. I will probably really quick grab one more cup of tea because the Squirrel Squad mug, it's great, but it's not a big mug, which is fine because I mean this is still kind of warm by the time I'm getting to the bottom of it. I think that by doing this, I'm going to be in good shape to get most of the toys. Because most of them, like, the one on this vendor that's 3,000 charms is kind of an outlier. Most of the rest of the toys that you can buy for these cost more like 500 to 1,000. So, and I'll have at least 1,000 on all of these characters after having done it on my hunter. So I will log over, grab some tea, and be right back.
I walked out with the rest of my tea. There wasn't much in it, but there was like a little layer in the bottom. I'm surprised the camera is still working for the, or still connected rather, for the fish cam, because I tripped over the webcam cable. There's not, like, we have lots of cables across the floor of our apartment. We run Ethernet everywhere and we're not terribly safe about it. We just kind of throw it across the, it's big bugs, man. We just kind of throw it across the floor and step over it. But I wasn't used to the webcam cable there, and I trip on it. And I, like, my tea kind of flies out of my cup directly onto the cat. So the cat's kind of mad at me. She's cleaning up some tea residue. She's getting a little bit shy. She may be slightly caffeinated after this. Alright, so I'm going to start up the group, and we're going to go over one more. So it's going to be same thing. Hi, I'm Hazel. Looking for 1 tank, 2 DPS, 1 healer, first come, first serve. Q and a time walking. We're going to believe in ourselves and do our best. And at least for this, I have some idea of what my buttons do. They've probably been changed since the last time I really did this. Got a healer. I got misdirect. Should throw that out there. That might help. Freezing trap. That's a good button. We've got that one. What else? Kill command, intimidation. Flare won't need it. Fetch won't need it. Play dead doesn't need it. Survival of the fittest. Seems important. You guys have that and turtle? Wow. Tar trap, is that important? Do I need that? Probably not. I just want to do damage. We're doing big damage. Okay, so we got a healer tank, we need 1 more DPS. And then we will be good to go. I guess I have buttons. I'm not used to having this many open buttons, and my priest, I'm just kind of like shuffling buttons around. I need to make a macro to, alright, there we go. And we are full. So I'm going to go ahead and queue us right away. Random time walking, that's the one. Yeah, I need to make a macro, because in this expansion, fun fact, you can use both Warlock Health Stones and Healing Potions. They no longer share a cooldown, so you can have and take and not again. Advantage of both. Okay, well, this is fine. I have a pet. Who do I want to use? What do we got? We got Volcron, Ava. Okay, so I haven't used Volcron in a while. I want to use the moose. I'm going to dismiss my pet. My pet utility. Dismiss. I'm going to grab my moose, and I'm going to make sure he's not taunting. I don't know anything else about him, but I want to make sure that my moose is not taunting. Pet. Growl. It's not on. That's a good start. Spirit Mend is... I think I have that macroed, actually. Ooh, there's food! I like food. Hazel, I got my 100k pillow. Grats! I'm jealous I don't have mine yet. I should have mine soon, actually. Maybe it comes today. EU account is on Arathor. Shout if you need anything over there, can post or whatnot. Thanks. My EU account is on Arathor now. It's not active presently. I don't currently play it, but if I ever do go back, and then I will probably need some stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and CC the one on the right. There we go. Will that get her? That'll... No. Oh well. But I can stun. I can Bestial Wrath. I know that button. And then just press all the buttons. Oh, I need heal. Counter shot. Where's my counter shot at? Or not heal. Kick. Counter shot. So I'm mostly gonna kick the heal. I'm not gonna worry too much about the other one. I would really like to CC, but she's like kind of on top of everything. She's probably just gonna get cleaved out. At least it kicks her, right? Like when you put down the trap and they get trapped, it does kick. So that's something. And you know, on a hunter, even if I'm doing everything wrong, my pet is still doing some kind of damage. So that's something. Do I have Trank Shot? I want to know if I can dispel off of these enemies. It doesn't look like it. Maybe that's a pet thing. It's like that pet thing. You know, actually, speaking of hunter pets, back in Cata when I had a hunter, my pet of choice was a hyena. And it wasn't the right pet, mind you. It wasn't a good one. It was just, it looked really cool. I found it in Desolus. I liked it a lot, so I kept it around. And I saw a hunter with one of the new model hyena pets. And it looked so cool, it made me want to go get one and be a hunter. And that's not what I'm doing, but man, those were neat. I think they're cunning. The Time Walking Drake Mount looks super cool. It can drop from any boss. It's got such a low drop rate, though. I think it's cool that they're not afraid of adding things with horrendously low drop rates, though. But
Oh man, it's so low. I would really prefer to not do the extra boss if we have a choice. I mean, obviously we can't do it yet, but I don't especially need it unless somebody does. Good dragonkin pet to get to level 25. It's not specifically a dragonkin pet, but if you're looking for something to do dragonkin damage, the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling is what you want. Outside of that, what are my most used dragonkin? Like, the Mech Panda Dragonling comes in for almost everything because it's good offensively and defensively against the same type. Because it's mechanical, and you get breath, you get decoy, so that's really good. But for dragonkin, what do I use? Nexus Whelpling, another good one. Not for dragonkin damage, but for Arcane Storm Mana Surge. That'll chew through a lot of things. If you can't get your hands on one of those, a Stormborn Whelpling should be easier to get. Those are pretty highly used. And then another good one is the Emerald Proto-Whelp. That is a wild pet in Shalazar Basin, pretty easy to get. Does dragonkin damage if that's what you're after. And you got Proto Strike here, you can heal yourself. You got get a mana damage, that's a pretty good all around. You also have the choice of magic damage. Any chance of you doing horde stuff ever? I wouldn't hold your breath. I don't see enough of an incentive to play both sides, and I prefer to keep all my stuff pretty like one server, one faction, so that I'm not trying to keep track of gold on two different sides. I do have one horde character, and I will probably level her to 120, but I don't see myself needing to use her all that much. Long time, haven't caught you live in ages. Congrats to the Mount Runes. Thanks! Appreciate that. I recommend the Nexus Whelpling, the Emerald Proto-Drake with the Near... Oh yeah, Nether Fairy Dragon's another really good one. That's a good point. So this one, I'm going to... do I need to trap her? We're gonna kill her. Where is she, actually? I don't have a good target on her. Spirit Matter, there she is. Frames are just all over the place. Headed home now. Thanks for the stream. Sorry I haven't been around much. Good luck in your time walking, chest. Thanks. Thanks for dropping by. Always good. It would be really hype if we had a mount drop for anybody. You know, not just for me, but for anybody on the stream. That would be really cool. It's not one that I've ever really super, like, ground for, though. So I'm going to CC that one. So hopefully, oh no. I can kick it, and then we can just hopefully just burst down this one. I will stun it. Yeah, no. Oh, I keep forgetting the stun, the intimidation stun goes on your pet's target, not your target. And, my pet lags behind a little bit. That's why I don't play why I don't play a Warlock or a Hunter, is because, pet AI, forgot about that. Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling is great in so many fights. I'm going to make a second one and a few more to sell. Having a second one would be very smart, and it's just something that I've never really done. So I'm going to CC that one. And we could get another trap on the one on the other side, or we can just kill it first. Either way. Oh, we got a sap. Alright. Chrominius Howl Surge Bomb? It's good. It's less good now that we can't combine it with other stuff. Like, you used to be able to take your Pandaren Water Spirit and then set up the proper bomb with multiple, you would use Geyser and then Whirlpool, and then Howl and Surge of Power, and it would all hit within the same view. That was crazy. But still pretty good at some. Where do you get your custom skills for the Azurite Power Weight add-on? Last week, I picked up a bunch of them or a set of them rather, from bloodmallet.com. Seems to be a fairly well done website showing stats and offering stats for Azurite Power Weight. It's, that one worked out pretty good, and then more recently I got them from the comments of the Warcraft Priest post on Shadow Priest Azurite trait ranking. I believe Publix put a link to his like a Pastebin or a GitHub or something that had links that I used. Been a while since I checked in on a stream. The Teespring goodie I ordered will be in tomorrow. Hope your stream's going well. Thanks, Tina. Congrats on your new stuff. I'm excited that everybody's starting to get their shirts and stuff, because now I have buddies out in the world who are matching. It's adorable. Great. I always have 3 mechanical dragons, and I'll give one away to a friend sometimes. You know what you should do is you should have a stable of like really commonly used pets, and then loan them to your friends, but with interest. So I'm gonna CC that one, and then we're gonna get this one down first. Go. but like rent out your buddies for a day. Obviously, it would be tough to enforce. It would be more just like a silly, fun thing. But is my pet healing on his own? I think he's auto casting his heal. I don't remember actually pressing that button, but he spirit mended somebody. So I mean, good for him. That's a good start. And then this guy's going down. The mount I want right now most is the Terrified Pack Mule, but I won't pay for it. Terrified Pack Mule. What's the deal with that one? Terrified Pack Mule. So he kind of looks like the donkey. He's from Drustvar. I feel like you guys have explained that one to me before, and I've forgotten. Like, I've actually forgotten how it actually works. I think the one that I want next, I mean, I really want a parrot. I'm not picky about whether it's the parrot from Freehold or the parrot from Island Expeditions. It's not likely to be either parrot because they're both rather unlikely to get. But I would be down with any parrot. Those are pretty neat. Or, you know, a bee if they come around with the bees. But I'm actually kind of excited. I'm getting close on my priest to getting, wonder what music went away. I'm getting close on my priest to getting exalted with a couple of the main factions. I haven't been super attentively doing world quests for them, so because I know that once I get exalted, then I'm really not going to care because there's no Paragon rep just yet. But I am looking forward to getting the horse mounts. Like, I know a lot of people thought the horse mounts were underwhelming compared to what the Horde got, but I'm still looking forward to, I still think they're cool. I specifically want the Storm's Wake one. I think it's like the white horse with the blue, drapings on it. I think that one looks really cool. Missed most of the stream. How's time walking? Going pretty good. We're, I'm having fun getting to play different alts that I haven't played in a long time. I don't get to do that very often, like actually play them. You know, you run them through raids, and you do mount runs and whatnot, and that's fine, but in a time walking, I actually get to, like, figure out what my buttons are, and I feel like I know how to play a mage 3% more than I did this morning. Parrots and donkeys, what is happening? I'm okay with not having the pack mule mount because I do have the donkey. And it looks like they're very similar. Like, the pack mule has more packs on him, but aside from that, it's pretty similar kind of thing. We do have a DC. More flying mounts for exalted later, possible B. How did you get your shattered unit frames to not affect party member frames? So shattered unit frames is super customizable. So in /SUF, you go to enabled units, and I over here just don't have party enabled. And then for my actual party frames, what I do is interface, raid profiles, use raid style party frames, and then you can just adjust them here so I can make them bigger. I can use class colors or no class colors. You've got a couple of options, and those are the frames that I use for everything, including my healing classes. These are good enough for me. I really like how customizable Shattered is, because you can just turn stuff on and off. Hopefully our healer buddy's logging back on. I love that the Broken Mustang mount swaps flags depending on what faction you're playing. Broken Mustang mount. I'm so behind. I can't be mad about anything they're not adding in BFA because I haven't done the stuff that they have added in BFA. Broken Mustang. It must be one of those ones that's not listed. I never even finished my Rat Stallion. That's sad. Oh, we're back. You know what I would ride more if something was just a little different is the Golden King mount. Has your guild flag, right? So the Golden King, it's a really cool looking lion. Lovely lion, very alliance. Interesting, pretty unique model. Looks great, love that. When you're on it, your character, not just on the mount somewhere, your character is holding a flag with your guild banner. And my raiding guild's banner looks like, let's see, that. It's in the top left there. Is there any place I can show it bigger? No? Do I have a, maybe I have a banner item that I can use. Is there like a guild banner toy? It's like a crying teddy bear. It's like a crying oatmeal colored teddy bear. I don't know why. It's not good. I think it's intentionally not good. It's like a meme or something, or maybe it's just a meme that it's weird. But I don't really especially want to run around with that on my cool lion.
Do you have any shrimp in your tank, Hazel? No, not anymore. I temporarily did because it was an emergency. The shrimp tank actually had a leak, so the shrimp needed to go into that tank. And you can see kind of there in the back right a little bit, there's a gourami. She's a honey gourami. She's yellow. She's very beautiful. She loves to eat shrimp. And she ate them all. So we don't have any shrimp anymore. And I would not, if I ever do keep shrimp again, I will not keep them in any tank with any fish. Even if your fish will not eat shrimp, there's no guarantee they're not going to like harass them and pull their legs off and whatnot. So I'm probably just going to, if I do a shrimp tank, which I might one day because they're kind of fascinating, just do shrimp only, maybe shrimp and a few snails. But like a shrimp only planted tank would be kind of nice. Very sad at the parent mount drop rate. Still trying to get the Lothian Prowler. I have given up on the Lothian Prowler. I'm not even there for that anymore. Have we not unlocked the teleporter yet? There should have been a teleporter, I think. It's like a little blue jump pad. Got a chuckle out of the Ford Mustangs and Culturas. They had a lot of really cool just references to stuff. Hated the shadowed version of party frames. You might learn to love them if you, you might learn to love them if you really go through and customize exactly the way you want them to be. There's all sorts of different things that you can do for them, but I've just always really liked the default. Like, ever since they overhauled the default frames, I don't know exactly when it was, but they're pretty good these days. I'm like, when I first started raid healing, back in, I say started like I still do it, I don't. But when I first did it back in Wrath, the default raid frames weren't very good. And I set up grid. And grid was like this whole thing. And I was like trying to decide, well, I want this hot to show in the top left corner. I want this hot to show in the top right corner. And debuffs are going to show over here. And this thing will be in the middle. And the frames will be this many pixels apart and this many pixels up. And these ones will be highlighted when this is happening. And all of that was done very manually. Or at least it felt like that when you were setting it up. Maybe I was doing it wrong. But I'm glad that that there's a version that I'm happy with that I can just kind of have work. It's great. I do use mouse over macros to heal. I don't have them set up recently. Or at least I didn't have them set up for my earlier priest. But generally speaking, I do just use mouse over macros. I wouldn't mind an add-on that just has a function for friendly spells to cast on mouse over first. But it's easy enough to make the macros. And that way you don't have to worry about like your add-on not working. So I'm going to CC this one. And we're going to kill this one first. The Golden King is the only true king. He's a good kitty. He's a good kitty cat. I always enjoyed cat mounts. And it's nice when they do different things with them. Like the original sabers are obviously pretty old. And then, you know, you had the Missa Pandaria sabers. We had the Night Saber that they came out with, like the Vicious Night Saber. That's a slightly nicer looking one, but it's not quite. I kind of want them to do a version of, like, if they're redoing Heritage Armor, I would love to see them redo racial mounts. I don't think they're going to, because they seem to just do new versions of them. Like, there's new versions of horses, and then they just put those new versions. Are we starting from the same spot again, or what? What's going on? I don't know which one we're doing first. Doesn't really matter. We can do either. I'm not doing any particularly exciting damage rotation. I'm pretty much just pressing buttons that are available, but it seems to be working out. Our rogue is doing quite a bit of damage, which is speeding us through this dungeon. My Alliance has no guild, so the banner is just the Alliance Lion logo. See, I wish I could toggle to that. I wish I could take my lion to the lion store and ask them to switch to that version. Like, I don't want to leave my guild. I just don't want the crying teddy bear. My dad got lucky with his Prowler mount, and I got him the Honeyed Paddle Bear. I would have liked for them to add more fox mounts, but I guess they're more special because it's just the one, right? Like, that's the only fox mount there is, right? Try click. I don't want to heal on click buttons, though. Like, I don't want to click the frame to heal. I don't want to click at all. I just want to mouse over and press the regular key on my gamepad that the spell was bound to, and then have the heal go off, which is just mouse overs. I use Voodoo. I haven't tried Voodoo yet.
But I don't want anything where I'm like healing on left click. I don't want that. Will you level your Horde character through Zandalar on stream? Why Zandalar specifically? Oh, I guess Zandalar mixed up with Zoldazar all the time. I won't rule it out, but I'm not planning on it anytime soon. Growl is switched off as soon as you enter the instance. Is it really? Did they finally do that after all those years? That's funny. That took them a long time. Man. I'm still paranoid about it. I still, double check. Like, I drag it onto the bar just so I can double check. But I like having a moose. Look at that ghost moose just doing his best. Living his life. Oh, I've been squeezed. Oh, it's fine. My moose is trying to help me. As long as my moose still cares. I still have friends in the world. You can do that with click by pressing the buttons in the config. You do not have to heal with clicks. Okay. Maybe I'll look into it. As long as it's easier than making mouse over macros. Because making mouse over macros is not that hard. I have it set up in a text document so that I can just replace the name of the spell using a function, and then I just copy paste the whole thing in. So it's not difficult to set up. It's just a little, like, I have to do each spell individually. So if setting up click is more work than that, then I'd rather not. But if it's easier. Any reason why it keeps grabbing me, or am I just getting unlucky? It's been a while since I did this. Maybe I shouldn't be in grabbing range. Maybe I'm taunting his flipper hand. I play on a 360 controller? Do you really? That I've never heard. I've heard people say, like, play with all sorts of different things. I've never seen somebody play on a 360 controller. Like a game controller. Like, I mean, obviously people have done challenge runs where they play on, like, Guitar Hero things and, you know, a Guitar Hero drum set, WoW playthrough, whatever, but like an actual gamepad, I guess you can do it. The main problem is that there's just so many keybinds. Like, it makes a lot more sense for different types of games. There's so many keybinds for WoW. Oh yeah, that's right, the Vicious PvP Fox. You're right. Forgot about that. If Blizzard were to make a Timewalking raid, which one would you like the most? Well, I wouldn't do it, is the problem. I think they made Ulduar Timewalking. I never did it. I did the Burning Crusade one once. I did, what was it, Illidan? Burning Black Temple. I did Black Temple once. Super underwhelming. I don't like the concept of Timewalking raids. It has to be easy in order for it to be viable in a pug. And at that point, it's not fun. And if it's too hard, it's also not fun. I just don't think it can be tuned correctly, especially not for such a short window of time. I'd rather not. So, if they were gonna do it, and I got to pick one to do one time, the one that I would be the least mad at would be Firelance. Although, you know, the first one, what is it called? Twilight. It's on the hill, or not the hill, like the spire. What was that one called? Bastion of Twilight. Bastion of Twilight was a short raid, and it did have some cool fights. So probably either Bastion of Twilight or Firelance. Spirit Shock, Hazel. Spirit Shock. Spirit Shock. What's Spirit Shock? I don't have Spirit Shock. Am I missing something very obvious? Because that happens sometimes. I've just reached Exalted with Honorbound, working on unlocking the Magnar Orc Allegories. Nice. That should be kind of fun. I did not, I just did that recently on the Alliance side with the Dark Iron Dwarves, and I did not expect how excited I was going to get for the prospect of playing a Dark Iron. I'm still really hoping to try and find time to level those. I don't know when. I'm not in a position to do that anytime soon, but they're cool. They look really cool. I didn't expect to like them so much. Like, I like dwarves. I have a couple of dwarves, but they're fine. I don't get super excited about them. But the Dark Iron, it's the hairstyles that really make it. The hairstyles specifically just make it so much cooler. It's showing me those orbs like I could maybe dispel it. I'm pretty sure that I can't. Unless, I mean, is it a pet thing? Does my pet have something called Spirit Shock? Spirit Mend. My pet, I'm just letting my pet autocast Spirit Mend. Healing with Healbot is very simple. I have to do Illidan for the Glaive Mogs. You've got 16 buttons effectively. And that'll do it. Bastion Twilight. I use mouse over macros with default UI. And then Momos works perfect. That's kind of my setup. mouse over macros, default raid frames. I've got the MMO mouse, I've got the G600 here, and then I have the, I use one of these guys, I've got an Orb Weaver. So I play on that, and that gives me enough. I'm kind of shocked that I don't have enough keys on some classes, because I have like this grid here, so this is 24, and then I have modifiers. So I just need to set up more modifiers, really. I know how to use them, but it always takes me a little bit of time to remember that I've set up modifiers there. I usually have to put up extra visual buttons just to remind me that there's a spell underneath it that's off cooldown that I can use. I used to modify, on my Resto Druid, I would put Cenarian Ward underneath my Life Bloom, so whenever I pressed Shift and then that button, it would send Ward instead of Life Bloom. But I would always forget, so I had to put this big weak ward that would like bounce and yell at me whenever Send Ward was off cooldown, just so that I knew I had the option, because otherwise I would never press Shift and I would never remember there was something underneath it. Can't wait to make a Dark Iron Shaman. I've got, yeah, mine are a Warlock and a Mistweaver Monk, which I did not expect to like the look of as much as I do. I tried the Razer gamepad, you how I dislike it. I'm thinking of selling it on Kijiji. Oh no. Definitely a learning curve for sure. Can't say that everybody will like it. I can say that I like it. Who came here for the fish? That would be unusual, just because I don't really advertise the fish. They're more something that I inflict on people that usually come for WoW. But I'm not mad, you know. Here, I'll make them all bigger. There we go. Can we see anybody right now? Who's in there? I mean, you can kind of see Chromie in the back. Like, there's sponge filters behind the wood. So whenever she's just, like, stalled out back there, she's just looking for bits off the sponge filter. Her entire life is spent looking for food. And then you've got a minnow, actually, down by the plants. That's usually pretty unusual. They usually stay kind of top left, which would be out of the current frame, unless they're mating. If they're laying eggs, they like to get in the plants. But they come by every now and then. I'm gonna make a Dark Iron Priest. Can he be a Dark Iron Priest? I'm actually not familiar with what Dark Iron can and cannot be. I'm familiar with Shaman because I remember the totems. I will take your guys' word for it what they can be. I think the Warlock looks really cool. Just because that's the thing that I remember them having in Blackrock Depths. Obviously they had lots of things, and they make good melee classes, like a Dark Iron Warrior feels very cool. Especially because they have that racial ability to make them better at blacksmithing, so it kind of fits. But I like the Warlock. I don't know where this weapon mod came from. I had it with set up as part of the set, and I just kind of clicked the button to transmog the set really quick. I think I would have preferred one of my artifact ones. After all that effort I went to, like, last minute unlocking my artifact challenge skins, I think I would have done that. But I do like this transmog set. I like the top. You've got, like, the zip thing going on there. You've got some armbands going on. I always kind of like those on fantasy elf characters. You got lots of straps, just, like, unnecessary straps. Straps everywhere. Just throw some leather straps that don't do anything, just, you know, just to keep your legs in. Make our orcs look amazing. Sponge filter is a strange name for a fish. Oh man. Sponge filter is gonna be the name of my cult. Waiting to make a warrior until I get Dark Iron. Warlock is very lore appropriate. That's kind of how I felt. Although I won't say that I'm an expert. I don't know much about their lore aside from what I read in the Shattering novel, is where most of the Dark Iron stuff was. But they just look so cool. And they were around in the dungeon. You know, it works out. Oh man, what if I like Warlock more than Shadow Priest though? I feel like Shadow Priest is part of my identity now. I would feel like I was cheating. I would feel like I was betraying that if I ever, like, playing with alts is fine, but if I ever actually tried to switch mains, I don't know if I have it in any. I don't know if I'm ready for that. All right, thanks guys. That one was very much appreciated. I am done with today's stream. It's about 5 o'clock, which is when we sign off. I will be back, of course, Tuesday morning with a fresh Mount Run stream. We're going to be doing Throne of the Four Winds once again because I still don't have a Drake of the South Wind, so we try and get it for that. I did put out a vlog earlier today talking a little bit more about, like, the virtual ticket stuff, answering a couple of questions. So that is up if you want to check it out. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.